Welcome back to our channel Know Your Economics, where we dive deep into the world of economics. Today, we are embarking on a journey to unravel the complexities of market forces with a special focus on understanding demand, the cornerstone of economic activity. Demand. In ordinary language, the demand means desire. But mere desire does not constitute demand in economic sense. Demand is the desire backed by ability to pay and willingness to pay for a commodity. According to Professor J. Harvey, demand in economics is the desire to possess something and the willingness and the ability to pay a certain price in order to possess it. The heart of demand lies on the law of demand. The law of demand is a fundamental principle of economics that states that at a higher price, consumers will demand a lower quantity of a good. Demand is derived from the law of diminishing marginal utility, the fact that consumers use economic goods to satisfy their most urgent needs first. The law of demand simply states that when the price of a product goes up, the quantity demanded will go down and vice versa. There are major six assumptions for this law of demand. They are taste and preferences of the consumer remain constant. Then the price of related goods remains the same. The commodity has no close substitutes. And there is no expectation of change in the price of the commodity in the near future. And another is income of the consumer remains constant. And the last one is the commodity is a normal commodity. These are the main major assumptions for the law of demand. Now we are moving to demand function. Demand function is a mathematical function showing relationship between quantity demanded of a commodity and factors influencing demand. Not only the price only determines the demand, but there are so many factors like quantity demanded of a commodity, price of related goods, taste and preference of consumer, income level, advertising and promotional activities, population or size of the market, consumers' expectation about future prices, specific factors affecting demand for a commodity such as seasonal changes, taxation policy, availability of credit facilities all will affect the demand function. Simply, we can put the demand function as the function of price of a product. Ceteris paribus, which means holding constant all other variables that may affect second variable. That means the quantity of demand. Now we are moving to the type of demand. To comprehend the nuance of demand, we must explore its various types. Price demand reflect how consumers respond to changes in price level, while income demand examines the relationship between consumer income and purchasing behavior. Cross demand, on the other hand, delves into how changes in the price of one good affect the demand for related goods, whether as substitute or complements. Each type provides valuable insights into consumer behavior and market interactions. Now we are moving to joint demand. It means two or more goods are demanded together. It is joint demand. Then alternative demand is another demand. It is derived from the changes in the price of substitutes. When the price of a good goes down, people who have been using other goods with similar or exact same use may move to buying that particular good. That is alternative demand. Then comes our derived demand. Demand for labor demand for any factor is a demand derived from the final product, which, which that factor helps to produce is derived demand. Derived demand means factors that is using for the final product. Then composite or rival demand. Multi-users commodities or services. This demand happens when goods and services have more than one use, so that an increase in the demand for one product leads to a fall in supply of the other. That means rival. Type of goods. There are different types of goods circulating in the economy. These goods include normal good, inferior good, substitute good, complementary goods. Additionally, they measure the income elasticity and demand of goods in the economy. First, we can look into the normal good. A good for which demand will increase when buyers' income increase. For example, clothes and staple food. An inferior good. Inferior goods refers to the goods whose demand drop as a result of increased consumer income. Additionally, they usually have a negative correlation unlike normal goods. In this scenario, the inferior goods are much affordable compared to its substitutes. For example, tapioca. Then substitute goods. Substitute goods are essentially the type of goods that a consumer will see more affordable compared to other products. The primary significance with substitute goods, they are more affordable and they provide consumers with varied choices. Then complementary goods. Complementary goods that can be used in conjunction with other goods. Typically, complementary goods do not have value when consumed alone. For example, the tire and the car. And there are so many other type of goods in the market. We have a For example, the luxury good. Luxury good means an increase in income causes a bigger percentage increase demand for the commodity. For example, HD TVs would be a luxury good. When income rises, people spend a higher percentage of their income on the luxury good. Then we have necessity good. Something needed for basic human existence. For example, food, water, housing, electricity. These are necessity good. Comfort good. It's another category of good. A good which is not a necessity but gives enjoyment or utility. For example, subscription of Netflix, Amazon Prime. These are comfort good. Then comes our given good. It's a rare type of good where an increase in price causes an increase in demand. The reason is that the income effect of a rise in the price causes you to buy more of this cheap good because you can't afford more expensive goods. For example, if the price of wheat rises, a poor peasant may not be afford meat anymore, so has to buy more wheat. That is given good. For example, rice, potato, bread, these are given good. Another category of good is Veblen or snob good. A good where an increase in price encourages people to buy more of it. This is because they think more expensive goods are better. For example, designer clothes, some forms of art are snob goods. These are major type of good. Now we are moving to determinants of demand. Demand for a commodity depends upon a number of factors that we discussed earlier. For example, not for example, the main determinants of demand are price of the commodity. When price of a commodity rises, less will be demanded, and when price falls, more will be demanded, thus depicting a negative relationship between price and demand. Quantity demanded. Then, next determinant of demand is price of related goods. The demand for a commodity is affected not only by its own price but also by the price of related goods. These related goods fall into two categories mainly: substitutes and complement. If the price of substitute commodity increases, the demand for original commodity will increase. On the other hand, if the price of substitute commodity falls, the demand for original commodity will decrease. For example, if the price of tea falls, the demand for coffee will decrease. If the In the case of complementary goods, a fall in the price of one good results in increased demand for other good. On the other hand, an increase in the price of good result in a decrease in the demand for other good. For example, if the demand for pen decreases, the demand for ink will also decrease. Income of the consumer. Both income and demand for the commodities move in the same direction. If income of the consumer increases, demand for the commodity will also increase. And if income decreases, demand also decreases. Taste and preference of consumers. Taste and preference of the consumer may change due to the influence of advertisements, change in fashion, or due to their desire to imitate their neighbors. A change in the taste and preferences of individuals may influence the demand for commodities. For instance, today more ladies have begun to use jeans, so the demand for jeans have now increased. In the automobile industry, there is an increased demand for sports utility vehicles. On the other hand, when some goods go out of fashion, they will be demanded less. Nature of the commodity. Demand for necessary goods generally remains constant. Demand for comforts, luxuries change with the change in their prices. Demand for prestige goods generally remain constant. Thus, the nature of commodity determines demand. Then advertisement play a major role in creating demand. Advertisement will create, maintain and increase the demand for goods. Thus, advertisement influences the demand for goods. Usefulness of the commodity. Changes in usefulness causes change in demand. For example, the demand for coats rises at the beginning of winter because coats are more useful in the winter than in summer. Similarly, the demand for Christmas card rises in November and December and fall in January. The demand for air conditioner rises each summer and fall afterward. So, the usefulness of the commodity also determine demand for a commodity. Then, changes in population. A change in the population of the country may cause change in the demand for various goods and services. With an increase in population, there will be an increased demand for food, clothing, and many more. Then distribution of income and wealth. If there is an unequal distribution of income and wealth in the country, Demand for comforts and luxury will be greater. If income is distributed equally, demand for necessaries and comfort will be greater. Then changes in the quantity of money in circulation. When the money in circulation increases, people will have more purchasing power. Hence, demand will increase. Conversely, if money in circulation decreases, people will have less purchasing power and therefore demand for goods and services also decreases. Changes in climate. Change in climate. Variation in climate may bring about changes in demand for particular goods. For example, the demand for woolen clothes will be heavy during the winter season. The demand for fans, cooler, etc. increases in summer. The demand for umbrellas and raincoat increases in rains during summer. Ice cream will have higher demand. During rainy season, ice cream is not so much demanded. So, the demand will affect according to the climate change. Then technological progress. Inventions and discoveries bring new things in the market. As a result, people will not demand older things. For example, radios replace gramophones, televisions replace radios, etc. Then consumer expectation is another determinant of demand. Consumers' expectation about a further rise or fall in future price will affect the demand for a commodity. If consumers expect a rise in the price of a commodity in the near future, they may purchase larger quantity even though there is some rise in the price and vice versa. Similarly, if consumers believe that their income will rise in the near future, they are more inclined to buy more expensive items today. Credit card and installment debt reflect consumer intentions of making monthly payments out of future income. On the other hand, if consumers are worried about losing their jobs, they are likely to postpone their purchases of expensive items. These are the main determinants of demand. Then we are moving to demand schedule and curve. Economics utilize demand schedule and curve. A demand schedule represents a tabular presentation of the quantity of a product demanded at different price points, while the demand curve illustrates their relationship graphically. Here it shows the amount of a commodity demanded at various prices during given period. This is demand schedule. And demand curve. It's a graphical representation of demand schedule showing the negative relationship between price and quantity demanded of a commodity. In other words, a demand curve is the locus of points showing various alternative price quantity combinations as far as an individual buyer is concerned. Here x-axis represent demand and y-axis represent price of a commodity. The above demand curve shows the demand for gasoline. When the price of gasoline is $3.5 per liter, its demand is 50 liters. And when the price is $0.5 per liter, its demand is 250 liters. This shows the negative relationship between demand and price of the commodity. So there you have it, a journey through the intricacies of demand in the marketplace. Stay tuned for more insightful discussions on economics and beyond. Thanks for watching and until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world of market forces with us. Know Your Economics. Happy learning!